Hey my friends, thanks for joining me again today. I am so excited because I get to participate in a Shop My Stash Mystery Box Challenge. Let's check it out.
Hi my friends, welcome back to KTB Creates. Today I'm excited because I am going to be opening a very special package. I decided to participate in another mystery box challenge. So for this challenge, my dear friend Rebecca from Rebecca Jane at Home put this challenge together, and it is a Craft My Stash challenge. So that means that we all kind of rummaged through what we have, and we sent a box of 8 to 10 items from our own stash onto someone else. So there will be a playlist, and I will link that below in the description box. So after you're done here, make sure you head on over to that playlist to find out what everybody else got and who I sent my box to. So I'm excited to open this. Now I did cut it open just to make it a little bit easier, but I haven't looked inside yet. So I am so excited. So we'll just get ready. So it does include some wrapped items, which are my challenge items. So, and there is a little card in here. So let's read that, see what it says. Hi Kim, I hope you like the items I chose from my stash for you. The 3 must-use items are wrapped up, and one of them is definitely more challenging. I also threw in a few other items just for fun. I love your DIYs, and I'm excited to see what you come up with. I'm sure it will be amazing. Have fun crafting, Chantel from Lovin' Life's Journey DIY. Chantel, she is amazing. So you have to definitely check out her channel as well. So I'm so excited. So I get to see the goodies that I have. So these are the, I'll say the other items, not the challenge items that she sent me. So it's this little wooden, it's a pen or pencil cup holder, and it's wood, which is really cool because I never saw these in my Dollar Tree. So that's really cool. And then we have some wire jute cord. Very good. These are sometimes hard to find. These are extremely hard to find. I only found them once in my Dollar Tree, and I bought a whole bunch of them, but I don't have any left. So there's 2 bamboo cutting boards. So very good. This is so cute. I haven't seen these either. Chantel has a good Dollar Tree. So it's just like a corrugated metal little sign that we could use. Very fun. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I never got these in my Dollar Tree, or if I did, I totally missed them. But this is from last year, or no, it does say 2021. It is 2021, so it's for this year, but oh my God, look at these images. I'm sure you've seen people crafting with them and DIYing with them all year. But oh my God, I'm so excited. Thank you, Chantel. I'm thrilled to have that. So now let's get into these challenge items and see what they are. I think I'm going to save the big for last. So I'll go from the smallest to the largest. So what could this be? I don't know. Oh, I think I know. I think I know. And this will be fun if I'm right. Yes! Laser cut. I figured it was laser cut of some sort. Laser cut craft icons. So they're cute little, like, bugs, I guess? So a bumblebee, a ladybug. I don't know if you could see them. A bumblebee, a ladybug, and I don't know, maybe like a dragonfly of some sort, or a butterfly. Butterfly, maybe? Yeah, butterfly. Very cute. Thank you. All right, let's open this one next. Little square. I get nervous opening these because you never know. You never know what might be here. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cute. It's like a little bank. There's a little slot in the top. And I mean, it says New Adventure Fund. But you know we're gonna make something of it. It is cracked a little bit right here, but I'm sure we could add something to that and fix it up. So that's my second challenge item. And then this is my third. I have no idea what this is, and it feels funny. Interesting. I don't know about this one. I have a bad feeling. What is this? Oh, a noodle booster. I've never seen these either. So you're supposed to put it on the noodles that you get at the Dollar Tree. I don't know, I guess to extend them or something. So, we're gonna have to create something fun with this. That's gonna take a bit. So, I've been challenged before. If you saw my last challenge, it was a turkey baster. So I'm gonna add that video in the cards above, just in case you wanna check that out. So now I have some thinking to do. So I will catch you in a little bit.
Here's a list of the ladies that will be joining in today's challenge. I will have a link in the description box below to let you know who I sent my mystery box to, along with a playlist. So be sure to check it out when you're done here. So for today's first project and challenge item, I am taking this little frame, or I guess it was a bank, and I'm just going to take the back cover off. It pops off really easily, and then I'm using this little spatula to just scrape off all of the wording on that glass. You can also use like a putty knife or a razor blade, something sharp. So that's all I'm doing here. Once you have that complete, I did go ahead and take the backing of the frame, and I'm just going to apply some black chalk paint to the back of it just to cover that picture. Now it's time to address the crack that's on this frame. So there's probably lots of different ways that you could do this. Ideally, I think if you had black electrical tape, that would be the best fix for this. But I was working with the supplies that I had. So I just cut a piece of duct tape down to size to cover that crack. And then all I did was I went ahead and applied just a coat of the Waverly ink chalk paint. And that covered it up really nicely, and you could hardly tell it was there. And then we're going to apply some detail stickers to it, so to kind of camouflage it as well. So you wouldn't even know that there was a crack here to start. Once I had all my stickers in place, I went ahead back in with the Waverly chalk paint and ink, and I just applied one even coat to all the stickers to cover that and give it a nice detailed, more of like an industrial type of a look. Then to decorate the box and cover that little slot where you would typically put money, I took some ribbon that I had in a nice neutral burlap tan type of a fabric, and I am just going to hot glue that on all around the entire edge of our frame. Now we're going to take challenge item number 2, which is these cute little wooden laser cut insects. So we have a ladybug, I think a butterfly, and maybe a bumblebee, but I think they're just adorable. But I want them to stand out a little bit more within our project, so I am just lightly dry brushing on some white chalk paint on each of them. If you really want it to be precise, you could probably go in and like paint them in different colors and things like that, but I like a neutral kind of decor and look, so that's what I'm doing here. Now we're going to go back to the backing of our little frame, and we're just going to hot glue on some reindeer moss. So you just want to hot glue it on pretty good enough. Stay away from the edges because we have to obviously go ahead and attach that back to it, so you want to make sure you can do that pretty easily. So you're going to go ahead and fill the whole backing of all of this with some reindeer moss. Once that was all glued down, I went in with some scissors and I just trimmed around the edges and just the excess that was hanging off. Then once I did that, it was time to go in and hot glue my little insects back onto the grass. So that's what I am doing here. Then once you have those in place, I also wanted to go ahead and cover the little slot where you would put money, because you will be able to see that if you're looking into the frame. So we're just going to go ahead and apply some more reindeer moss to that section and just apply it with some hot glue as well. And then I went ahead and put the frame all together, but I felt like it was still missing a little bit of something, so I went in and took this black and white ribbon that I had, and I am just going to hot glue that right on the center of my burlap ribbon on 3 sides. Let's go ahead and take a look at our finished product. I was so excited to get started creating this next DIY. I was inspired by a riser tray that I saw in TJ Maxx. I will show you the picture here, and it had like really chunky legs on it, and I thought it was so different. So I decided to go ahead and take my cutting board along with the calendar, and we're gonna go ahead and create a cute little riser that you can use for decor. So I decided I was going to use this picture of this little barn for the top of the cutting board. So all I did was I kind of outlined the edges of it, and then I went in and I simply just cut it out with my scissors. And then once I did that, I wanted to add a little bit more detail to this and make it look a little bit more worn. So I went in and I started just ripping off the sides of this. Now I will tell you, you know, work smarter, not harder. And what I should have done to this was wet the edges of it. It would have been a lot easier to tear it and rip it. So just an FYI, if you're looking to do this, I would advise to do it that way. So once that's all done, you're going to go ahead and take your Mod Podge, and we're going to apply that right to the cutting board in a very thin layer. And again, it's helpful if you actually spritz your paper piece with a little bit of water. It helps to eliminate some of those bubbles and things like that that you sometimes get when pasting something with Mod Podge. But I wanted this to be more of a permanent look, so I felt like Mod Podge was the best way to go about adhering it to the cutting board and, you know, allowing it to be more permanent and not get ruined. Now, I had purchased a bag of these wooden, I guess they're legs or dowels for something actually I was at an estate sale, and they had a lot of craft supplies. So I grabbed these with no idea what I might do with them, but I definitely knew they would come in handy. And like I said, with my inspiration picture, I thought this was perfect to create my little mini riser. So all I did with these was I went in with a little bit of antique Waverly wax and a wet wipe, and I'm just applying a thin coat of stain to all 4 of those legs. Now it's time to go ahead and put our riser together. So I'm just taking one of the legs and I'm going to outline it in pencil on the bottom of the riser, just so I know where I'm hot gluing the legs to the riser, just so to make sure that they're all kind of evenly placed. So once I do that, I'm all set to go ahead in with a little bit of hot glue, as well as this fix-all glue that you can get at the Dollar Tree. So a little bit of a, you know, permanent hold as well as an immediate hold for this DIY. And here is how this one turned out. This next DIY is the easiest one of all. I took this little pencil cup holder that I got in my box, and I am simply going to apply some antique wax to this just to stain it. I'm again using a wet wipe, which is a really nice method to really spread out your stain to make it look more like a stain rather than a wax. So I would recommend doing this if you haven't already. I'm just looking to create something very simple here to hold some greenery or seasonal florals that I can change out throughout the year. So all I did to decorate this one was I took this from the back of the calendar, I applied some Mod Podge to the back of it, and I'm just gonna adhere that right to the front of our little holder. I'm gonna pop some greenery in there to decorate it, and that's it. This one is all done. One more super easy DIY using our calendar again, and this little corrugated metal frame, which I think is just adorable. So what I did was I took some brown craft paper, I crumbled it up a little bit, and I'm just going to dampen it with a little bit of water. And that's for two reasons. I want it to apply it to this corrugated part so it'll rest in those little wedges nice and easily, as well as I'm going to rip the edges to make it look more worn, and then we're going to use Mod Podge to apply it. So those are all the reasons why it helps to wet the paper first before applying it to our metal piece. Next, I cut out another piece from the back of our calendar, and I applied that right to the center, and then applied a nice healthy coverage of Mod Podge to that as well. Then I wanted to decorate just a little bit more with a little bit of ribbon at the top of our sign. So I'm just using this lace ribbon that I purchased at the Dollar Tree as well, and I'm just going to tie it in two simple little bows right at the bottom of our hanger there. And that's it for this one, guys. Super easy again. So let's take a look at how it turned out. So I saved the hardest DIY challenge item for last. So we are going to create a faux pot, greenery pot. And that's really all I saw when I saw this piece. I think it's a really cool look. It's like a very modern type of look with the ridges. And I never used the caulk method of using that to create texture on something. So I did have some of this in my stash, so I decided to go ahead and use that and kind of see how it came out. So this was all really, I was just winging it here. I was a little nervous because you only get one shot at this, but it was super easy and I love the way it turned out. So as you see here, all I'm doing is just simply applying that caulking to the inside of the little ridges, and then I'm just going to keep lathering it on all over the piece, on the sides, on the top and the bottom. And I'm just gonna kind of smooth it out with my fingers here and there. I don't want it to be perfect. I want it to look more of like a concrete type texture, you know, because obviously that's what I want it to look like, a real stone pot. So I only used 1 tube of this caulking that you can get at the Dollar Tree. So I thought it was a really economical way, again, to make a cute little DIY pot for your greenery or seasonal type of floral arrangements and things like that. So once I was happy with the coverage of the caulking, I did let that dry overnight. Now I'm gonna go ahead and layer on different shades of paint. So I started with a white chalk paint just to make sure I covered all of that blue. I didn't want any of that like peeking through. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply a really nice coat of white chalk paint, and then I'm gonna start layering on some silver lining and mineral chalk paint, and once the white chalk paint dried. Now I wanted to go ahead and cover up the bottom of what will be our flower pot. So I just took some thick brown craft paper and I just trimmed that to fit, just to basically cover that hole on the bottom of it. And I'm just applying that with a little bit of hot glue right to the bottom. You can also paint over this if you want to finish it off like that as well. Then to finish off the painting portion of this, I wanted to add a little bit more detail and make it look a little bit more aged as well. So I took my Waverly Antique Wax and I'm just applying that in sporadically in certain areas where it's raised a little bit and along the top and bottom edges, just to again make it look a little bit more authentic and a little bit aged look to it. And now we're all set to add some floral foam right to the center of this. So I'm just gonna cut these little squares that you can get at the Dollar Tree. I'm just gonna cut them right in half. So you're only gonna need 1 square to fill the whole of our little flower pot. And you're just gonna, I'm gonna go ahead and add those right in, and then we're all set to decorate with our floral arrangement. I'm actually gonna go ahead and add basically mostly greenery to this. I did have some picks that I purchased at Target with little like white flowers on it, so I'm gonna add those as well. But I really wanted this to resemble a real live plant. I personally can't keep live plants alive, so this is a really nice faux option. So that's all I'm doing here is applying all of my greenery, and then this project is finished. So it really was easy. It was a little bit time consuming because you had to allow the caulking to dry overnight and the different layers of paint, but other than that, it was truly super easy, and I just love the way this looks. No one would ever guess that this was like a pool noodle in the beginning, so I hope you enjoy it. Let me know which one of these projects was your favorite. I always love to hear from all of my subscribers, and I'm curious, is there something, another idea that you had that you would recreate using this pool noodle booster? What would you create using that? I'm just curious if anyone else has any other ideas. Again, thank you for joining me. Don't forget, you're going to want to go to the description box and check out the link to find out who I sent my box to and what they created, as well as the playlist for everyone. You're going to get a ton of really cool ideas as far as DIYs go. Thank you to everyone. You are so appreciated. Take care and have a wonderful week.